Good morning to all of you all. How are you, children? I'm back here again, your English facilitator, Himangi, and let's continue immediately with our 10th standard portion, Act 3, Scene 1, from where we left off. If you have any problems, do write to me and do share the video with your friends if you think that these explanations are helping you. So, shall we start from where we left off? We left off at Cassius saying, I know not what may fall, but I like it not. They are discussing about allowing Antony to speak at the pulpit of Caesar's funeral. So we'll start from there. Brutus, Mark Antony, here take you Caesar's body. You shall not in your funeral speech blame us, but speak all good you can, device of Caesar, and say you do it by our permission. Else you shall not have any hand at all about his funeral, and you speak in the same pulpit whereto I am going after my speech is ended. So now what has Brutus done? He has allowed Mark Antony to speak, but because Cassius had warned him, he has put in certain conditions as to how and what Brutus can speak. So let's see what these conditions are. The very first reason that he is giving is that he's saying he's asking Mark Antony that in your funeral speech, means when you're giving the funeral speech for Caesar, you will not blame us in any way. You will not blame the conspirators about anything. You will speak all good that you want to say about Caesar. That's the second point. And you will speak from the same pulpit from where I am going. And then the fourth thing he's saying is that you will speak after I go. You will not speak before that. Okay, so this is what he has said. So these are the four things. Please mark them, children. Antony, be it so. You did not get it? Please mark it again. You shall not in your funeral speech blame us, but you will speak all good you can to device of Caesar. You will say you do it by our permission, and you will speak from the same pulpit from where to I am going after my speech has ended. There are 5 points. Sorry, I made a mistake. There are totally 5 points. I hope you have got it. Antony, be it so. I do desire no more. Prepare the body then and follow us. So they said, now okay, you can prepare the body and you can follow us. Exeunt all except Antony. So everybody leaves and only Antony is left behind. Now what does Antony say? And now this is Antony's soliloquy. Please mark it. This is his soliloquy that you are facing over here. I hope you all know what's a soliloquy. A person is talking to himself, but in such a way, when you're acting on stage, the audience can hear every word of what you are saying. So, Antony, oh, pardon me, thou bleeding piece of earth. So, whom is he addressing over here? He is addressing Caesar's corpse. Now, children, what we can do is this can be taken as an apostrophe. I don't mean the language apostrophe. I mean a figure of speech which we call as apostrophe, where an inanimate object is first personified and after that it is addressed. So that is the meaning of an apostrophe in a figure of speech. When we talk about figure of speeches, there is an apostrophe which is used in language, in literature, which is different from the apostrophe that you use in language. In language, we use an apostrophe to shorten a word, like I cannot. So you will say I can't. Or I will not. So you say I wouldn't. Isn't it? With an apostrophe. Here, apostrophe means giving, first personifying something, means giving it a dead inanimate thing being given the qualities of a living person, and then addressing it, means talking to it. That is called an apostrophe. The spelling is same. So, oh pardon me, thou bleeding piece of earth. So he's talking to Caesar's corpse. That I am meek and gentle with these butchers. Thou art the ruins of the noblest man. So just see, Antony still loves Caesar so much, but he is just playing with these conspirators. And see the words he is using. Butchers. You know, he has used the word butchers, the very name which Brutus did not want people to use, because he says that if we don't give you if we are not able to give you a reason, then this will be a savage spectacle. See, children, in line number 223, where Brutus says, or else were this a savage spectacle. That's line number 223. So that is exactly what Brutus did not want. He did not want the Roman citizens to think that they had just done this for the sake of murdering somebody, for killing somebody. He said, I have a good reason. But Antony here addresses them as butchers, means having just killed for no reason. Okay, so thou art, and then the next word he uses is, you are the ruins of the noblest man. That means you were the most noble person who was alive at that time, and he is comparing Caesar to a huge building. So when a building falls, the ruins which remains, so he's saying you are the ruins of the noblest person. When you fell, all nobility fell, and nobility was shattered into bits and pieces, that ever lived in the tides of time. Woe to the hand that shed this costly blood. Over thy wounds now I do prophesy. Prophesy. You remember, children, I had told you that Antony was a Luperci, means he was a priest. Okay, so he was a priest also, he was a consul also, he was a part of the Senate also, the same time when Caesar was there in 44 BC. You can refer to my first one or two modules which I've done for standard 9. So this year I've started. So you can see I've given an introduction to Antony over there. If you want, you can just refer to it. Okay, so remember that Antony was a Luperci, so he was a priest. So he had the authority and he had those powers which could give him the power of predicting something, of prophesizing something. So what does he prophesize over here? He says, over thy wounds now do I prophesize. So he's saying that I'm looking at your wounds and now I'm prophesizing. And what am I prophesizing? That which like dumb mouths do ope their ruby lips to beg the voice and utterance of my tongue. So Caesar's wounds are compared to dumb mouths, mouths which cannot talk, which cannot speak, which cannot open their, which cannot talk. So he's saying your dumb mouths, means your wounds, are literally begging of me, are pleading with me that I should be the voice for those wounds. Now what is a prophecy that he is making? A curse shall light upon the limbs of men. Domestic fury and fierce civil strife shall cumber all the parts of Italy. Blood and destruction shall be so in use. So what is he saying? The first thing he's saying is that there will be a curse which will come on all the men who are living in Italy. They are in Italy, Rome, that is. There will be domestic fury. Everybody will be angry with each other and there will be a civil strife. So the Romans will fight amongst themselves. A civil strife will take place. Blood and destruction shall be so much in use, and dreadful objects will be so familiar. There will be so much of destruction, there will be so much of killing, there will be so much of blood all over that it will just become a very common sight for people to see all these things. That mothers shall smile when they behold their infants quartered with the hands of war. He's saying even the mothers, when they see their own infants being killed in front of them, they will just smile because they are so used to seeing so much of destruction. All pity choked with the custom of fell deeds. Fell deeds is evil deeds. So he's saying nobody will have any pity for anybody. And Caesar's spirit ranging for revenge, means the spirit of Caesar will be ranging for revenge. He wants the revenge. Who wants the revenge? Caesar wants the revenge. With 8 by his side. Now who is this 8? I want you all to understand this. 8 was the daughter of Eris. Okay, Eris, Eris. She was the goddess of discord. She was a goddess of discord according to Roman philosophy, according to Roman belief. She was a goddess of discord, and Zeus, he had banished her from Mount Olympus where all the gods were living. So he had banished her from there and he had sent her to hell. He said, you go to hell because you are too much of destruction and too much of discord over here. But in Greek mythology, they believe that she is represented that she gives punishment and she inflicts revenge on people who perform evil deeds. She doesn't just inflict punishment. She does it on people who have performed evil deeds. So Antony is saying over here that, and Caesar's spirit ranging for revenge with 8 by his side, come from hot from hell, means furious from hell, shall in these realms, confines his realms or regions, with a monarch's voice cry havoc. So who is going to say this? Caesar's spirit. He's a monarch, isn't it? He's a king. So Caesar's spirit is going to say that havoc. And only a king has the power to declare such a word. And once Caesar says the word havoc, means a spirit, or that monarch uses the word havoc, what will happen? And let slip the dogs of war. It's like as if, there are wars, there are hounds, there are dogs who will be let free, and these are the dogs who don't go by smell. They kill people, they ravage people by sight. So they look at people and they pounce on them and they tear them apart. That is it. So let slip the dogs of war, that this foul deed shall smell above the earth. Which foul deed? The foul deed of killing Caesar for no reason. So this foul deed shall smell above the earth, with carrion men growing for a burial. Means with dead people, those who have been killed, they will literally be groaning that please give us an honorable burial, please bury us. So that is what Antony has said. So these are the prophecies that he has made. I hope you have marked all the prophecies. I'll repeat the prophecies. First of all, there is an apostrophe used. Then the prophecies he makes is, there will be a curse which shall light upon the limbs of men. There will be domestic fury, means unrest domestically. There will be a fierce civil strife. The people will fight amongst themselves in all parts of Italy. There will be blood and destruction. So much of blood and destruction will be there, and mothers will just smile when they see their own children also being murdered. It will have no effect on them because they've become so cruel. And Caesar's spirit, ranging for revenge with 8 by his side, will come and he will cry havoc and let slip the dogs of war. So this is Antony's soliloquy. This is very important because he has not only addressed Caesar's corpse, but we come to know that Antony is just playing upon the emotions of the conspirators. He has not let the conspirators understand even a little bit what he means to do or what he is planning to do in the future. And he is showing his loyalty towards Caesar so much. And because he is a Luperci, he is a priest of God, Lupercus, who is the protector of flocks and herds, and who is also the god of fertility, he is prophesying that all these things will happen in Italy. So I think I want you all to enter a servant. You serve Octavius Caesar, do you not? I'll just give you this one more point because I don't want to break it off midway. So enter a servant. You serve Octavius Caesar, do you not? Now, you remember Octavius Caesar, these are the people who had formed the second triumvirate. If you go back to the notes which I have given you in the beginning, in the introduction of Roman history, there I have mentioned that there was a second triumvirate which was formed, and Octavius Caesar was one of them. If you remember, Mark Antony was the son of Caesar's sister. Caesar had a sister who was called Julia, and Mark Antony was his son. But Octavius Caesar is the son of, please make a note, Octavius Caesar is the son of Caesar's niece by the name of Attia, A-T-I-A. That is her name. So Caesar's niece Attia, and her son was Octavius Caesar, okay, and he was nominated in Caesar's will as his heir. So his ability and capability recommended him. It was not that just because he was a relative, Caesar put him in his will. It was not that. His ability and his capability to be able to control people, to rule over Rome, it was that which made Caesar nominate him as an heir. And what we also understand over here by the entry of Octavius Caesar, or the mention of Octavius Caesar, is that Caesar's family has not been totally wiped out. And Caesar has got a living heir in Octavius Caesar, who will shortly enter the scene. So we have the servant reporting to Antony, and he is saying, I do Mark Antony, means I do serve Octavius Caesar. Caesar, Antony. Caesar did right for him to come to Rome. So Antony is asking him, or he's almost telling him, that did Caesar invite him to come to Rome? Why is Octavius Caesar over here? Has he been invited? Servant. He did receive his letters and is coming, and bid me say to you by word of mouth. So he's saying, yes, Octavius Caesar had received letters from Julius Caesar, and Octavius Caesar has asked me to come earlier and to report to you, bid you by word of mouth, and bid me say to you by word of mouth that. And before he could complete his sentence, what was the message from Octavius Caesar? He just happens to see the body of Caesar. And as soon as he sees the body of Julius Caesar, it comes out from his mouth very naturally, "Oh Caesar!" Antony, thy heart is big, get thee apart and weep. So he's saying, oh, you really have a big heart, means you have a loving heart. Now just come to the side, and weep means cry. Passion, I see, is catching. So I can see that you're getting passionate about seeing the body of Caesar, and you are getting emotional about it. So is catching from mine eyes. So he's saying, even I am getting emotional seeing you cry, because I'm seeing that you're going to cry. So even I am getting emotional, and seeing those beads of sorrow stand in thine began to water. So he's saying, I'm also getting emotional seeing you. So please go on the side and weep. Don't cry in front of me, because when you cry in front of me, even I will start crying. So, but tell me, is thy master coming? So he's asking him, tell me only one thing. Is Octavius Caesar going to come? Servant. He lies tonight within 7 leagues of Rome. So he's saying, yes, he has reached within 7 leagues of Rome. What do you mean by 7 leagues of Rome? Look at the meaning, it's given to you. Yes, about 21 miles. So he's saying he's about 21 miles away from Rome, and he's going to come. Antony, post back with speed and tell him what had chanced. So he's saying, you immediately go back. Go back to your master and tell him what has happened over here in Rome. That means that Caesar has been assassinated. So tell him, here is a mourning Rome. Here is a dangerous Rome. No Rome for safety for Octavius yet. So Antony is worried. Antony knows that Octavius Caesar is his legal heir for Caesar. So he's saying, you go back immediately to your master and you tell him that this Rome is at the moment mourning over the death of Caesar, and this is a dangerous Rome because there could be a lot of civil strife and it'll just break out, chaos might break out. So he's saying it's not a safe Rome for Octavius to enter at the moment. So ask him not to come. Ask him to wait. Hie hence and tell him so. So he's saying go immediately. Hie hence means quickly. Hurry, fast. Go quickly and tell him. But then immediately he gives another thought. He says, no, yet stay a while. Thou shalt not back till I have borne this corpse into the marketplace. Means you will not go back. Just wait. First he tells him hurry and go. Then he's saying no, wait. You will not go back till I take this corpse to the marketplace. He is going to go to the marketplace through the forum and to the pulpit over there, and then he is going to give his speech over there, over Caesar's. He's going to pay his last respects to Caesar. So he's saying that thou shalt not back till I have borne this corpse into the marketplace. There shall I try in my oration how the people take the cruel issue of these bloody men. So he's saying, I will give a speech. My oration means my speech. And during this speech, I will gauge the mood of the people and what exactly are they thinking about this bloody deed, means about the deed of killing Caesar. He's saying, when I'm giving my oration, I will be looking at the public. So I will come to know what their mood is. Antony is a fantastic orator. And good orators always know what the public is trying to see. They'll always look at their audience. So this cruel issue of these bloody men, according to which thou shalt discourse. So he's saying, after which, understanding the mood of the people of Rome, you will go and report back to Octavius Caesar. So, according to the which thou shalt discourse to young Octavius of the state of things. Look at the word he has used, young Octavius. That means there are two things you can understand. That one is Octavius is young and he is fit to rule. He is the next generation which is going to come in. Apart from that, he is young. That means he may not have as much experience as Mark Antony has. Julius Caesar had actually sent him to study from the Greeks. He had sent him away far so that he could learn the Greek things that they are supposed to learn, so that he could study. So he has studied, but he does not have sufficient experience, in the sense the same amount of experience which Mark Antony would have. So he's saying young Octavius. People who are young may have studied a lot, but they would definitely lack in the experience that a senior person would have. So he's saying that. And then he's saying, lend me your hand. Means give me your hand. And then exeunt, help me to lift Caesar's body. And then exeunt with Caesar's body. So they take Caesar's body to the marketplace. And with that, we have managed to finish Act 3, Scene 1, and I'm really happy about it. And before I actually close this, there are a few things that I want you to notice in the entire scene. So please make a note of the most important things which I think are important. One is And meanwhile, I have told you that please go through all the workbooks that your school has recommended to you and do practice a lot of writing. Okay. One is how the cause which they use to stop Caesar so that they can surround him and they can kill him, and what sort of things they are saying. And then the fact that Caesar was stabbed and he got most shocked by the stab of Brutus. Okay. And there are a number of anachronisms over there which I hope I have made you all mark, but I'll just tell you. You know what's an anachronism? Something which was not present at the particular time when the play was set, but it was present when Shakespeare was writing the play. So there are a lot of anachronisms in this play. So I did make you mark them, right? So you can go through them again. And there are two that I can see. One is, of course, about that Bible and doomsday. That is one anachronism that we find over here about Bible and doomsday. And also, you know, where he says in the beginning of the scene that Caesar, what touches us, ourself, shall be last served, where Caesar uses the word us. I've explained it to you. Please go back and see. So I've given you two anachronisms which are present in this scene. Then also I want you all to explain the significance of this. Let us bathe our hand in Caesar's blood up to the elbows and besmear our swords. Because it's a symbolic ritual sacrifice. So you should know that, okay? It has been mentioned in Act 2, Scene 1. So that is what I want you all to remember, that this is important because it's an important ritual sacrifice. And this deed of the conspirators, where they are bathing their hands in Caesar's blood and all, it is fulfilling Calpurnia's dream. You remember Calpurnia had a dream which we had seen in Act 2. So that dream has been fulfilled over here. So that is why I think this is important, along with the significance. Then of course where the servant talks and he is saying, he is reporting what Mark Antony has said, may he safely come and be resolved, how Caesar hath deserved to lie in death. That is line number 131, 32, 33, 34. So please mark those lines, that's also important. Then there's a dramatic irony which is mentioned over here, where Cassius says, line number 144, 145, where he says, yet I have a mind that fears him much. This is dramatic irony, just to enhance the dramatic effect of the play. This is irony because this really does happen. Then we come to the next important part is about the puns used, where he says, where in Mark Antony's speech, where he says he compares Caesar to a stag and the world to a forest. That entire explanation is very important. That comes in line number pardon me, Julius. So it begins with 204, it's 203. 203, 204, 205, 206, 207, 208, 209, 2010. So from 203 to 210. 203 to 210. Please remember that and learn to interpret it, because that will come. Please practice writing your answers. And then this is very important also, where Anthony says in line numbers from 226 to 230. Line numbers 226 to 230, where he says, where he is a petitioner and he is asking that please give me permission to talk at Caesar's funeral. That is very important. And the reasons I've explained to you. And then this last soliloquy, all the things that he is predicting. So these are all important. And with that, and of course, who is Octavius Caesar and what is his relation to Caesar? These are all important things as far as scene 1 is concerned. And with that, we come to an end over here. And I hope this has helped you. So this is your English facilitator, Himangi, signing off, and hope to see you in the next module. Bye everyone. Study hard.